Are you considering moving to Minneapolis in 2024 or in 2025? Are you trying to decide what area of Minneapolis you should live in? Well, if you are considering a move to Minneapolis, you are going to watch this video because today we are going to go over 5 things that you need to consider before you move to Minneapolis. Hi, I'm Arne Johansson. I'm a local Minneapolis area realtor. I've lived in South Minneapolis for over 20 years, and I have helped over 300 families buy and sell their houses in and around Minneapolis over the last 10 years. So I know this area very well. I'm excited to talk about it today and go over these things so you have valuable information before you make your decision. Before we get into that, though, like my channel or subscribe to the channel, like this video. I put out weekly videos every week on the Minneapolis metro area, and there's a lot of valuable information in there, whether you are buying or selling. And I promise you will find that information valuable. So let's get into it right now. So number one, what part of Minneapolis do you want to live in? Now I have a map of Minneapolis up right here. These are all the houses that are available for sale. And Minneapolis is, a big city, and I'm just going to go over some of the areas right now. So this part right here, where this is Key, see you see Keewaydin, Hiawatha, Powderhorn. This is considered South Minneapolis. You got the airport right here. You got Highway 62. You got 35W right here. Then you have the river, and then you have 94. So this box right here, this is South Minneapolis. And this is one of the best spots of Minneapolis, in my opinion. I actually live in South Minneapolis in the Lake Nokomis community. So you can see here there's 144 houses and condos in that area. Let's check the median price. The median price is 307 of all those properties. They were built in 1929, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 222 a square foot. Total square feet is 1333. So this is a very good area of South Minneapolis. It's going to be less expensive than some other areas, and it's going to be more expensive than, like, say, North Minneapolis. But there's a lot of great options in South Minneapolis. You got Lake Nokomis right here. You have Lake Hiawatha, and then you got Powderhorn Lake. So you got 3 lakes, plus you have the river. You have the light rail coming up right over here, and then you have easy access to the airport. The one downside I will say about South Minneapolis is the air traffic flights. They come in just like this. So if you live right in this area, you are going to hear airplane noise. But honestly, you kind of get used to it. But that is a factor. You're going to have some airplane noise over here. So that is one area of Minneapolis. Let's look at another area. So this is southwest Minneapolis over here. I'm just going to draw this so you can get an idea. So southwest Minneapolis is one of the nicest areas as well. You have 290 listings over here. You can see you have Lake Bade Maka Sky. It used to be called Lake Calhoun. You got Lake Harriet right here, and then you have Lake of the Isles and Cedar Lake. So anytime you're around a body of water, you're going to have demand. You have 380.87 median price, so you can see it's a little bit more expensive over here. The average home was built in 1951. You can see the houses are a little bit newer, and you have an average square foot of 1550. So you see the houses are a little bit bigger. So this is another great area of South Minneapolis. You have Uptown right over here. And then when you go down here, this is more like family kind of area. This is more like kind of a lot of shops and bars and things like that over here. And then Lake of the Isles, you have a lot of $1 million houses. So those are two of the biggest areas: South Minneapolis, Southwest Minneapolis. Now let's go to downtown Minneapolis. Downtown Minneapolis, if you want a condo, most of the condos in Minneapolis are downtown. So there's really aren't any single family homes. You can see there's 200 condos for sale downtown. And let's see the median price of those. Median price is 350, two bedrooms, two bath, 1,232 square feet or 298 per square foot. So you're going to be paying a little bit more per square foot. It's a little bit more expensive, but you have all the benefits of living downtown, walk, restaurants, you got Target Center, you got Target Field, you got US Bank Stadium, you have Mill City District, you have all the different art, the Guthrie and things like that downtown. So, if you want a condo and you want that downtown lifestyle, then you have that. So you have South Minneapolis, Southwest Minneapolis, you have downtown Minneapolis. Then let's check out Northeast Minneapolis. So this area is Northeast Minneapolis. And Northeast Minneapolis is, you don't have any water over here. It's more industrial, but there's a lot of cool restaurants. There's a lot of cool bars. It's a little old school. It's kind of like, it's really kind of, there's a lot of old warehouses that have been converted. You got a median price of 317 at $222 a square foot, three bedrooms, two baths, built in 1955. So it's a little bit newer than South Minneapolis, but this is another popular area. Like I said, there's no water over here, but this is another great spot to live. So then your last area of Minneapolis is North Minneapolis. Now, North Minneapolis is going to be the most affordable area of Minneapolis. The homes are on the median price is going to be less than the other areas. So a lot of first-time home buyers. You can see this spot right here. You do have Theoworth Parkway, which is very beautiful. It goes up all the way over here. Victory Memorial Parkway, and then you do have Theoworth Parkway down here. With you can see some of these communities near North Bryn Mawr. And then you go up here to like Cleveland, you got Camden area. Let's see what the median price is of these areas. So you got 250. So you can see it's $100,000 less. You got three bedroom, two bath median with 170 per square foot. So, this is a higher crime area. That's probably the main reason why it's less expensive. And, you don't have the body of waters like you do down in South Minneapolis, but you're going to be able to get a home for a lot more affordable price. So, number one, what part of Minneapolis you want to live in, that is going to be a big factor because that's going to determine how much you spend and then what area you're shopping for. Because, like I said, there's a lot of areas of Minneapolis. So, number two, do you want to live in a townhouse, condo, or single family home? We talked about that. Most of the condos are, let's just see, condos and townhouses in Minneapolis. Most of those townhouses are going to be downtown. So I just did a search. So we're not looking at any single family homes now. Now we're just looking at townhouses and condos. You can see most of them are downtown. There's very few townhouses in South Minneapolis. Look at, there's barely any. Very few condos. And even when you go into Southwest Minneapolis, there's really not any down here. So most of the townhouses and condos, they're going to be over in uptown area. They're going to be downtown, and that's it for the most part. You have some over here in Northeast Minneapolis, and you have barely any over here in North Minneapolis. So if you want a single family home, then you're going to be able to go anywhere but downtown pretty much. But that is one factor because that's going to determine where you live, or what you have to choose from, because there's just not a lot of condos in most of Minneapolis. All right, do you want to live by a lake? Now, we talked about that before. If you want to live by a lake, then you're going to want to live down in South Minneapolis. Lake Nokomis is awesome. Lake Harriet, Lake Calhoun. Those are all great lakes. Then you got Diamond Lake here, and you got Lake Hiawatha. There's just a lot of water over here. It's a very low crime area as well. You have Minnehaha Parkway, which is really nice. So if you want to live by water, then I recommend South Minneapolis. You have the river here downtown, but it's just not the same. There isn't really any water over here in Northeast Minneapolis or in North Minneapolis. So that's kind of how it is. If you want to live by water or a lake, if you want to go to the beach and you want to be close by, then I do recommend South Minneapolis. Okay, so that was number three. Number four, what is your price range? Well, we already talked about that. If your price range is on the lower end, then you're going to have more options in North Minneapolis. If your price range is like 500 or 600, then you're going to have more options down here in South Minneapolis. Then it's like, do you want to live by water and what is your price range? Because if you want to live by water, then you're going to pay a little bit more in South Minneapolis, but you're going to get more, you're going to get you're going to be by Lake Nokomis, Lake Hiawatha, Lake Harriet, and Lake Calhoun, Lake of the Isles. But your price range, if you can only afford 200,000, well, you're not going to have many options. Let's just take a look. If we go under 200,000 and you want a single family home, let's see how many are even available. Look at There's none available over here in Southwest Minneapolis. There's only 3 houses available in all of South Minneapolis. There's only 2 houses available in Northeast Minneapolis, none downtown, and most of them are in North Minneapolis. Let's just look. See, there's 36 total in all of Minneapolis, and 29 of those are in North Minneapolis. So if you're at a lower price range, then that's going to limit your ability to get a home in South Minneapolis or Southwest Minneapolis if you're looking for a single family home. But if you're above 400, 500, 600, you're going to have a lot more options, and so that's something to consider. Number excuse me, number 5, when are you going to be moving, winter or summer? This is a big deal because in the winter, I've shown this graph multiple times, but I always bring it up because this is just a huge factor in Minnesota. If we look at the history and we go on a month by month basis, you can see that the median price, let's just turn this into Minneapolis, median price drops dramatically in the winter compared to the summer. It goes up. Look at April, August, June. You can see it's peaking in June, July, August, and then it's at its lowest point in January, December. December, January, February pretty much is when it bottoms out. So on average, homes sell a lot more. If you look at showings per listing, like how many buyers are out there, look at that. There's 8 showings per listing in March. There's only 4 showings per listing. So there's probably twice as many people looking in March, April, May than there are in November, December, January. So people just don't like to move when it's so cold out. It's just not as fun. So if you're going to buy in the summer or the winter, that's going to make a difference on how much you're paying for the house, how many listings are out there available for sale, how much competition is out there. So that is definitely a factor. So to recap, 5 things you need to know before you make that move to Minneapolis. 1, what part of Minneapolis do you want to live in? South, southwest, downtown, northeast, North Minneapolis. 2, do you want to live in a townhouse, condo, or single family home? If you only want to do a condo, most of your options are going to be downtown. Not as many condos options in South Minneapolis. There are some in Southwest, few in Northeast, and barely any in North Minneapolis. But if you want to live in a single family home, lots of options everywhere besides downtown. 3, do you want to live by a lake? If you do, then you're going to want to be in South Minneapolis. Number four, what is your price range? As we went over, there's a lot of different price ranges. If you're on the very lower end of the market, you're going to have more options in North Minneapolis. And five, when are you going to be moving? Are you going to be moving in the winter or the summer? That's going to determine prices, competition, and just how easy it is for you to get a house. So, those are five things that you need to consider before moving to Minneapolis. If you found those helpful, leave a comment below. Let me know if there's anything that you want to know that I didn't talk about. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I put out weekly updates like this every single week, and I'm just here to help you in your home search, or if you're selling your house in Minneapolis Metro, I can help you with that as well. So, had a great time making this video, and I'll see you next time on the next video. All right, talk to you later. Bye bye.